Hello, Algebra 2 students. So as we prepare for our Chapter 8 test, we've got a couple of review problems from this practice test linked on Planbook that I'm going to walk you through and that we'll kind of talk about. So problem number 1 is asking us, okay, if we know that x and y vary inversely and that x is -4 and y is 9, we are asked to both write an equation representing it and find y when x is 3. So as we start by writing our equation, we remember inverse variation's parent function is y equals k over x. Now, when I give you two values for x and y, once you know what something's equal to, you can swap it out and plug it in, right? So instead of y, we'll have 9. So 9 equals, we still don't know k, that's our first goal, divided by x we said is -4. Now from here, solving for k is nice and easy. We want to get k by itself, so we get rid of the only number attached to it, which is -4. It's attached by the division, so I use multiplication. So it looks like k is going to be -4 times 9, which is -36. Now we go back to our regular function, y equals k over x, swap out k with what it's equal to, -36, and we're done. Now, as we find y when x is 3, we just plug in x equals 3. So we've got y equals -36 divided by 3. Well, -36 divided by 3 is -12. That's it. Problem 8, we are asked to graph. So now it gets a little bit more fun. This is a problem from section 8.2 from our notes, and because we notice that we have the a, h, and k transformations. So note that I didn't ask you to describe the transformations, but I sure could. So the -a means that our graph is going to be reflected. It's also going to be shifted to the left, 1, horizontal translation, as well as down 2. Now, right away, if we know that we have this k value and our graph is shifted down 2, that means our horizontal asymptote is going to be at -2. We can tell that right away because of that k value. So our HA is the horizontal line, y equals -2. As we consider our vertical asymptote, we look at our denominator. So we can also think about our transformations as well, but a general rule is, you know what, set your denominator equal to 0, solve from there. So I have x plus 1 equals 0. I subtract 1 from both sides. My VA is going to be at x equals -1. So I have a vertical line with an undefined slope there. And then from here, I just need to plot points. So I need to pick 2 points to the left of that vertical asymptote and 2 to the right. So other than that, we don't have a whole lot of restrictions. Maybe choose -2 and -5. It makes no difference which ones we choose. And then to the right, make your life easy. Pick 0 and 1. Once you have your x coordinates chosen, you just have to plug them in for x. So we've got y equals -1 over -2 plus 1 would be -1 minus 2. Well, -1 divided by -1 is a positive 1. 1 minus 2 is -1. Looks like I have that point there already. Then I'm going to plug in -5. So -5 plus 1 in that denominator becomes a -4. Well, -1 divided by -4 is a positive 1/4. 1/4 minus 2 would be -1 3/4. So left 5, down 1 3/4, getting really close to that horizontal asymptote, which makes sense. Now we plug in 0. Our denominator becomes 0 plus 1, oopsies, which is just 1. So I have -1 minus 2, -3 appears to be my y-intercept. And then plugging in positive 1, that means my denominator is a positive 2. -1/2 minus 2, -2 1/2. So write 1 down 2 1/2. Again, we notice that it's approaching our horizontal asymptote. Now when we connect our points and draw in our branches, they have to level off towards our horizontal asymptotes and then shoot either downwards or upwards toward our vertical asymptotes. For the branch I just drew, it wouldn't make any sense for it to shoot upwards because it already kind of leads me to believe that we're going downwards. Same idea with this branch. It's leveling off as we go to the left and it's shooting upward because that's what my points are leading me to believe. Now, lastly, again, even though it doesn't ask for it, it's good to consider our domain and range. At your horizontal asymptote, that tells you, okay, we see a y, that's going to restrict my range. So my range would be y is not equal to -2. My domain, I look to my vertical asymptote to determine that. Also, you can go back to, well, what can I not plug in for x? Oh, can't plug in -1. X cannot equal -1.